like to welcome you to today's program, and to start it off, I'd like to introduce our Mistress of Ceremonies, the President of the NAACP, Geraldine Brown.
Good morning. Glad to see all these bright, happy faces. Let me start off by thanking the teachers. I have a new appreciation for you. I'm certainly out of my element. I have no kids, and now I remember why. This celebration was moved from January to now, but this is a very special year for the NAACP. It's our 100th anniversary, and the local's 50th anniversary for our annual Freedom Fund. Okay, we'll all clap. I'm especially glad to see you here because you're a very diverse group. And Martin Luther King was about diversity. He wanted us all to live as one, to get along as one, to help each other out. And in these days and times, it's more important than ever that we learn to live together in peace and harmony. So today in our celebration, we will see that. So let's begin with our celebration. We're going to have a musical selection by Port Huron High School's Women's Chorus, directed by Jeff Beasley.
Thank you for having us this morning. The ladies of Women's Ensemble would like to sing two spirituals for you. Spirituals are songs that originate back in the South in the United States when slavery was still in practice. When the slaves didn't have much in their lives that was good, they sang. And so a lot of these songs are very joyful and a lot of fun, so we hope you enjoy. The first one's called The Animals Are Coming, and the second one is called Ride the Chariot.
Two by two, the elephant to go. I'm gonna ride the chariots in the morning, Lord. Gonna ride the chariots in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, I'm gonna ride the chariots in the morning, Lord. I'm gonna ride the chariots in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, are you ready, my sister? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I'm waiting for the change 'cause I'm ready to go. Ride, ride, ride in the chariot to see my Lord. Ride, ride, ride in the chariot to see my Lord. Ride, ride, ride in the chariot to see my Lord. Ride, ride, ride in the chariot to see my Lord. I'm gonna ride in the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm gonna ride in the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, I'm gonna ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. Ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm gonna ride in the chariot to see my Lord, to see my Lord.
Thank you. Great job. Next, we'll have the students from Indianwood, and they will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Now, for our welcome, we'll have the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Tom Shorking.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the school district and the Board of Education, we welcome everybody to this special program today, where we honor the life of Dr. Martin Luther King as part of Black History Month in this country. I think there are many things and many people we need to acknowledge today that have put this program together. Gretchen Plager, a former teacher in this school district, has been the chief organizer, along with Geraldine Brown. We have our speaker that's coming after me is Ed Kindle, who is a graduate of Port Huron High School, but also our principal at Central Middle School. We have two of our students from Port Huron High School be with us today. Brittany Turner, who has written a wonderful poem that she wrote on Martin Luther King Day, and it will be read by her sister Maya, and then Brittany will have some remarks for the audience. We'd like to thank Terry Beasley for bringing in his women's ensemble for us this morning. And as always, we have wonderful opportunities in these performing arts centers, and Denise Selby, who manages both sites for us, always does a nice job for us, so I would like to recognize them. More importantly, and probably one of the most famous quotes of Dr. King is I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. It is so uplifting for this country now, as we all know, our new president, Barack Obama, lives that dream that over 40 years ago was espoused by Dr. King. We have much to celebrate in this country, and our diversity is one of those major things. So with that, on behalf of the school district, we welcome you here today. We're going to have student activities towards the end of the program. You're going to have some nice speeches, and I thank the NAACP for planning this event for our 5th grade students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shorkey. Now we will have Mr. Eddie Kendall. He's the principal of Central Middle School and was the once assistant principal of Port Huron High School. Mr. Kendall.
Good morning. I'd like to, okay, good. Let's try that again. Good morning. One more time. Good morning. First of all, I thought this was a celebration. Is this a celebration? Is this a celebration? Okay, great. That's fantastic. I'm excited to be here, and like they introduced me, I started out in this school district. I went to Cleveland Elementary School. Is Cleveland in the house today? Cleveland Elementary School, all right. I was very proud to be a student at Cleveland Elementary School. After that, I went to Chippewa for a couple years, and then Central. Then I had an opportunity to go to what I think is one of the best high schools in the state of Michigan, and that's where you're sitting here today, Port Huron High School, home of the Big Reds. You like that? Home of the Big Reds. First of all, I just want to acknowledge Kimball Elementary School. If you guys can turn around over there. Kimball, represent real quick, wave your hands. They got those fantastic shirts on that says "Be the Change." Outstanding. All right, enough about me real quick. I know you didn't come here to listen to me tell you about myself. I want to talk to you about you. And I'm excited to be here because of what I see. When I look out and I see this group of people, I'm excited because we've got an opportunity to see the future right now. I'm not talking about being a fortune teller, but what I want to talk to you about is the excitement of what I see. When I look at you, this is what I see. Can I tell you what I see real quick? Can I tell you what I see? Yeah. All right. I see doctors and lawyers over here. I see school teachers and principals over here. I see firemen, police officers. I see actors, actresses, coaches, ministers. I see all kinds of people who are going to make a difference in the world tomorrow. And that's the greatest thing for me about being a principal. When I walk through my hallways every day at Central Middle School, a kid walks by me and I say, man, maybe I just walked by the next president of the United States. Someone walks by me and says, man, maybe I just walked by a great actor or actress. You never know. But I see the greatness in you. What I want you to do is see that in yourself. Okay? Now, how do we get there? How do you get to become what I see in you? I'm going to tell you one thing. It's about investment. And I'm not talking about that $800 million investment that you heard about last week. I'm talking about the greatest investment ever, and that's the one you make in yourself. What's the greatest investment you make in yourself? Your education. Your education is very important. If you're going to become what I said that I just saw in you, it's got to start every day in your education. So make a commitment to preparing yourself to get a great education. You started the foundation right now because you're outstanding 4th and 5th graders. And I'm excited about that. One of the things about that investment is this. If you're going to become the success that I just told you about, it doesn't happen by chance. You're not going to become a doctor or a lawyer, a teacher, or principal just because Mr. Kendall said you were. Success doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design, okay? And that design is with your preparation. So when you're doing your homework tonight or tomorrow, and you've got 10 math questions from your teacher, your math teacher, don't do just 10, do 11. Do one extra one. When you're writing an ELA paper or English paper or something like that, or you're doing something with science, maybe write an extra paragraph. Okay, challenge yourself to go above and beyond, and that is with your preparation. And that's going to one day make you great. And that's why 20 years from now, when I've outserved my usefulness as a principal, this guy right over here, he's going to be standing up here doing this same speech. I guarantee it, okay? So I'm happy to be here with that. Mr. Shorkey said to me, he said, Mr. Kendall, I want you to go over and I want you to motivate him. Well, as you know, or maybe you don't know, I used to be a football coach, and I love football very dearly. And I used to, before a game, I would spit at my players and yell at them and try to get them motivated. And one thing I knew about coaching, that motivation that goes through kind of one ear and out the other. So I'm not here to motivate you, I'm here to inspire you. What I want you to take from me is that we just planted a seed in you. Remember I told you what I saw. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, principals. It's up to you to water that seed, to nourish that seed every day from now on, okay? And I know you'll do that. The last thing I want to say to you is this. Anybody like money in here? Do you like money? Huh? All right. I'm not talking about my kind of money, the kind that jingles. I'm talking about Mr. Shorkey's money, the kind that folds, okay? All right? Here's one thing about money in our country today. The more you learn, the more opportunity you have to earn, okay? The more you learn, the more opportunity you have to learn. Doesn't make you any better than anybody else. All it does is give you a few more resources, okay? So the last thing I want to say is this. Because of the seed we just planted in you, understand that there's going to be some bumps in the road. It's not going to be easy. But every day you got to remember what I saw in you. And you got to say to yourself, you know, I'm going to become something great in this lifetime. When you have problems along the way, turn those problems into opportunities. And the opportunity that you have is to become a great problem solver. Because what I'm looking at today, I'm seeing people who are going to solve the problems of this community. I'm seeing people who are going to solve the problems of this state. I'm seeing people who are going to solve the problems of this country. I'm seeing people who are going to solve the problems and create opportunities for this world. It's in you. I believe you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. I can't wait till I'm 60 years old, 20 years from now, and walk by each and every one of you just to see your success. Thank you very much for listening. Okay? Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall, for your inspiration words. Now we will hear from Brittany Turner, a junior at the Port Huron High School, has written a poem on different subjects. Today we will hear a poem, Change Has Come. She wrote on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday anniversary. It will be read by her sister, Maya. Maya's going to do it?
Hi. Okay, a change has come. As a young African American, yes I can. As a young black woman, yes I can. Because I've been inspired, encouraged, and motivated to dream big dreams, to aim higher, and to achieve my goals. Yes I can. As an African American, I can now pick myself up and dust myself off. Like Barack Obama said, the dream has been realized, my thoughts and my mind have been unparalyzed. As a black woman, hope has come alive. My faith has taken over, and my pride has cried tears of joy. Many of us African Americans said that this would never happen. We are the ones that marched in the 60s, but guess what? Martin Luther King took us to the top. and promised us a promised land. And look where we are standing over the United States of America with Barack Obama, head of the table. And I'm not talking about the dinner table. America, reality has come, reality is here, and I'm very proud to be part of African American history. As African Americans, yes, we can. We have to take accountability for our actions and responsibility. For our mistakes, yes, we can. We have to challenge ourselves to do better and be better citizens. Yes, we can. We have to inspire our young people and encourage them to have dreams that are above and beyond our expectations. Yes, let the young people be our next generation to lead our nation out of false hope and into hope for a better future. And yes, we can, because we will not be discouraged and we will not be put down by negative people. We will be rebuilt from scratch and work our way to the top. Yes, we will. We will grow in each other and teach each other new things, and we will learn from each other. Yes, we can, and yes, we will. Together we lead, together we succeed, together we will celebrate, and together we will change America.
Kind of excited. Oh my goodness. I wrote a short speech for the poem, I guess. Had to bear with me. I'm kind of nervous. Usually I'm not nervous, but I am. Okay, I'm about to start. As I stand here today with confidence, motivation, and an open mind, I must say that I am very honored to give this speech to future doctors, lawyers, and entrepreneurs sitting in the audience. I pray to God that this message captures the minds of the young people and the thoughts of the adults that are out there listening. I also stand here with the courage of John Carlos and Tommy Smith, two men that stood on the podium, one with his black glove-covered fist to represent black power, and the other fist to represent unity and power, while the scarves around their necks stood for African American pride. Black socks and no shoes represented African American poverty. I don't just stand here with my fist raised high for African Americans, but I stand here with the faith of our nation's first African American president who truly believed what the scripture said in Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that work in you. I'm asking you to believe not just in the ability to bring about real change in Washington. I'm asking you to believe in yours, Barack Obama. We don't just stand on their shoulders expecting change, but we stand on a dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a dream that seemed impossible, to where a black man could rise to the highest office in the land, a dream where America would set their differences aside and compromise with society. Yes, I can. Yes, we did. And yes, we will, because change has come. We have been brought together as one to believe that all dreams are possible, including yours. Dr. King started out with a dream that became a reality for President Barack Obama. And in closing, I want to leave you with this quote from Michael Pittis. Power is not static, but dynamic. Power moves, it shifts, at every co-generation. There are those who break and move mountains. They believe that all things are possible. They are power shifters, and you can be one too. And then saying, I want to also say that all these fifth graders in here, I mean, I know everybody have dreams. I do too. And mine is to be, a journalist, and, I want to own my own business someday. And I believe that, if you have dreams, it's not impossible. I mean, if you set your mind to it and, you really focus on it, and have the motivation and the people that's around you, supporting you, you can achieve your goals and your dreams or whatever. And, and don't let nobody, put you down or say that you can't do this or, that you will never make it, but you can, if you really want to. Thank you.
Well, we've heard two inspirational speeches at the end here. Mr. Kendall kind of stole from her, but I think she forgave him. Listening to her, I hope you're getting more inspired because she's a student and you can see what you can do if you put your mind to it, along with her sister who had a fantastic poem. Now we will hear from the students from Roosevelt Elementary School, and they represent a story. This is the dream. Roosevelt.
This is the dream. It was an army without guns, but not without strength. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., 1964.
These are the fountains that stand in the square, and the black and white signs say who will drink where. These are the buses, a dime buys a ride, but the people are sorted by color inside.
These are the restaurants where whites only eat, and the tables up front at lunch counter seats. These are the libraries, 2 separate sections with separate bookcases and separate selections.
These are the doors that are closed in the schools, and separate but equal is not just a rule, but a law that's enforced on buses and trains and theaters, restrooms, department store chains, and libraries, hospitals, all public places, dividing up people by colors and races, with harsh written words that are slapped on the walls, denying both freedom and justice for all.
These are the students who step through the doors, where people of color have not walked before. These are the passengers on weary feet, walking until they can choose their own seat.
These are the diners who sit and who wait at the whites only counter, ignoring the hate. These are the marchers who forge through the street as they carry their message through shimmering heat.
These are the leaders whose powerful voices lift up the marchers demanding new choices for fair-paying jobs and good education, to vote without fear and to live in a nation where everyone's equal and judged from within, never jailed or arrested because of their skin, fighting firm without fists, sitting down, standing tall, pressing onward toward freedom and justice for all.
This is the fountain that stands in the square, and the unwritten rule is to take turns and share. This is the bus that rolls through the streets, and all the passengers choose their own seats.
This is the restaurant where, up in front, the black and white signs say, "Open for lunch." This is the library, books wall to wall, free to be read, but not by some, but by all.
This is the school where the doors open wide, and the children are learning together inside about students and marchers and leaders who fought to make right what was wrong without violence. They sought to make changes together and establish new laws.
With many small triumphs, they strengthened their cause as they sat at the counters and rode through the stations and gathered up hands as they marched through the nation. With courage, they railed and answered the call, dreaming freedom and justice for all.
Next, we'll have Cleveland School. We would ask that you have your students ready to go as the previous presentation is ended so that we can have as little downtime as possible.
Good morning. We are the 5th grade classes from Cleveland Elementary. Today we'll be performing Two Plum with Voices Raised and I Am. I hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you. With voices raised, we honor those whose struggles turned us towards the light, who strove to see a century close in human good and equal right.
With voices raised, their truth survives and echoes down the halls of time in simple words and passionate lives. Across the years, their voices climb. With voices raised, they found the courage to be strong.
If particular attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to instigate a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no representation or voice. Abigail Adams, 1776.
Look at me, look at my arm. I have plowed, I have planted, and I have gathered into barns, and no man can heed me. And ain't I a woman? Sojourner Truth, 1851.
I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger. Harriet Tubman, 1897.
I wish to introduce today a proposal that has been before the Congress for the last 40 years, and that sooner or later must become part of the basic law, the Equal Rights Amendment.
With voices raised, they fought to live their lives with pride. With voices raised, they marched in peace and stood as one.
Those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are men who uncross without plowing the ground. Frederick Douglass, 1857.
I am here to demand my rights and to hurl thunderbolts at the man who would dare to cross the threshold of my manhood. Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, 1868.
We declare our right on this earth to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the right of a human being. In this society, on this earth, and this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. Malcolm X, 1964.
We are on the move now. Yes, we are on the move. In no wave of racism can stop us. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., 1965.
With voices raised in struggle, in courage, and praise of the ones who could not be silent. Across the restless years, their voices raised.
If we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For in the final analysis, our most common basic link is that we all inhabit the small planet. We all breathe the same air, and we all cherish our children's futures, and we are all mortal. President John F. Kennedy, 1963.
There is no black America. There is no white America. There is no Latino America. There is no Asian America. There is the United States of America. Barack Obama, 2008.
And in their courage, we are strong and we will live our lives with pride. March on, fight on against all wrong and journey side by side with voices raised.
To reach the sun, let all courageous hearts be praised and build on what brave hearts have begun. An open door to make once more a brave new century of voices raised.
It's a great job, Cleveland. Thank you. Now we'll have Harrison Schools. And as they prepare, Keewatin, please prepare to be ready to come on.
Morning, everyone. Harrison would like to do a poem that is entitled D is for the Drinking Gourd, and it's by Nancy Sanders. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Where people go, they cry in speeches or with pen in hand. A is for abolitionists who are willing to take a stand. B is for Buffalo soldiers riding across the plains. Bold and brave, they protected the West, the settlers, the forts, and the trains. Sweat-stained hats and spurs, the jingled rodeos with daredevil clowns. C is for cowboys and cattle drives to railroad towns. D is for the drinking gourd and North Star that led through the night. From station to station on Underground Railroad, escaping on a dangerous flight. E is for emancipation, a big word that means to be free. When people heard the proclamation, it was a day of jubilee. F is for the founding fathers and the day of the Constitution. They held the war of British rule in the American Revolution. Thousands moved from the south to the north, that's why G is for the Great Migration. Families went to cities looking for jobs and a better education. Poetry, paintings, photography, the stage. His songs at the top of the chart. H is for Harlem Renaissance, a great birth of culture and art. I is for inventions, new gadgets for people to use. Inventors have ideas for all sorts of items, from hair products to machines that make shoes. Trumpets playing to a syncopated beat, crowds forming to hear. J is for jazz and jazz musicians, there's a new song in the air. Lighting candles, telling stories, reciting an inspirational quote. K is for Kwanzaa, a celebration of unity and hope. L is for Little Rock 9, the students who integrated school at Little Rock, Arkansas Central High, protected under military rule. M is for March on Washington, a civil rights demonstration where thousands of people gathered to support equal rights throughout the nation. N is for NAACP and the Legal Collective Prize. This important organization has saved countless numbers of lives. Outstanding athletes each do their best, inspiring both young and old. O is for Olympic medals, the bronze, the silver, the gold. Government leaders make important decisions for people in their cities and states. P is for politics and politicians and political candidates. Use to cover a bed at night or to keep warm on a cold buggy ride. Q is for the beautiful quilts stitched together with love and pride. Black pharaohs in Egypt, ancient empires of old, royal pyramids in Timbuktu. R is for African roots and the glories Africa once knew. Hard work, little food, hearts with heavy sorrow, sold away from family and friends. S is for slavery, a sad part of our past. The Civil War finally brought it to an end. T is for Tuskegee Airmen, flying their planes to the clouds. E education, careers, achievement, and goals. A strong sense of heritage and pride. Used for universities and the opportunities they provide.
Cast your ballot in the box, let your voice be heard. B is for the right to vote and the difference in this world.
Storytellers, historians, and poets writing words that are wonderful and wise. W is for writers and the winners of the Pulitzer's Prize.
A voice for struggle for equality, a symbol of power and might. X is for Malcolm X, an activist for civil rights.
Y is for York, a mountain with the Lewis and Clark expedition. His brave exploration opened the way to new worlds for the next generation.
Congregations gathering, sing a hymn, church members running hand in hand. Z is for Zion and churches of faith along the journey to the promised land.
Well, now our poem is finished. Oh, but wait before we go. There's one more thing we'd like to tell you, although we're sure you already know. We're starting a brand new era, and our future is clear. Let our voices join together and all give a cheer. Thank you, Harrison. Next up is the Keewatin School. Memphis, you're going to be next. Please enter on this side. You can exit on the opposite.
I don't know which ones. Do you want me to put it up? Or do you want to pass it back and forth? Can you hear it?
Good morning. My name is Noelle Hedberg. I'm a fifth grader at Keewatin Elementary. My classmates are going to perform a play that was written by a former fifth grader named Rachel Ankley. Rachel did all the research and writing for this play. I hope you enjoy it.
On January 19th, we celebrate the birthday of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
This great man worked his whole life just to ensure equality of opportunity to every black American.
To help blacks gain their rights, King had to overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges.
Where did he find the wisdom and strength to fight these challenges? He listened to great voices, the voices of other men and women who in their own lifetimes worked for the rights of oppressed people.
When did Dr. King first hear these voices?
Let's go back to his first day of 7th grade to find out.
On the way to school, many thoughts passed Martin's mind.
He wondered why black children and white children had to go to separate schools. He wondered why blacks had to sit at the back of buses and why they were refused to be given service at restaurants.
He wondered why blacks weren't allowed to vote.
Most of all, he wondered if things would ever change.
Before he knew it, he was in his classroom.
His teacher handed a book to each student. Martin quickly opened his. He gasped. His teacher looked at him very surprised.
Well, of course there are. But none of the other books I read before said a single thing about famous black people. Well, then I think it's time you learn about some right now.
Everyone began to read. They learned about important black people that most of the kids never learned about.
Martin couldn't take his eyes off the pages.
He felt as if he were in the same room with these amazing people. Their voices seemed to fill his ears.
I am Harriet Tubman. I was born a slave but escaped from slavery in 1849. Later, I worked for the Underground Railroad, making 19 long and dangerous trips to help other slaves escape. I even helped my mother and father north of freedom. I always knew in my heart that slavery was an evil thing, and during my lifetime, I did all I could do to save my people.
Hi, I am Nat Turner. I was born a slave and I died a slave. But in spite of that, I learned to read and write. I became a preacher. In 1831, I led a revolt. I knew that slavery was wrong and that I had to fight against it. I died in a revolt, but during my short life, I did all I could to help my people.
I'm Frederick Douglass. I was a slave until I ran away. Through many hard times, I spoke out against slavery. I fought out against unequal treatment to blacks on trains, and I struggled to have white children and black children go to school together. I started an anti-slave newspaper. I consulted Abraham Lincoln, our president, about the slavery problem, and I served as a U.S. Minister to Haiti. I worked hard all my life, and I did all I could to help my people.
Hi, I'm Rosa Parks. When I was young, I was riding the bus when I was forced to give up my seat for a white passenger. I refused. I felt that I had enough with giving up my seat, so I stayed on that seat. The passenger consulted the driver, but I wouldn't budge. It got so out of hand that the police were called to the premises. I was arrested. When I was released, I started a boycott that blacks followed for almost a year. They didn't ride the bus at all for a year. Later in my lifetime, I moved to Detroit, where I communicated with many different people in my community. I'm proud of what I did, and what I did was help my people.
Hi, I am Abraham Lincoln, and I served my country with a lot of strength. Yes, I may be white, but I've always had beliefs about slavery. I disliked slavery so much. There was so much slavery that it started a war, the Civil War. It divided our country. The Confederates were the South, and the Union was the North. A lot of people died in that war, but they definitely served our country well. The Union won and slavery was stopped, most of it anyway. I believe that all my people should be treated fairly, and that's how I wanted all of my people to be.
Hello, friend. I am Sojourner Truth, and I did many things to keep my people safe. I spoke out as a woman in public about things I thought. I hated slavery, so I told people how slaves were treated, how bad it was, and how to stop it. I told people that slavery was wrong and cruel, and people listened. I traveled all through the country telling people of my thoughts until my death in 1883. But I helped my people the best I could.
Martin left school that day and felt as if he was walking on clouds. He wondered for so long on how he could help his people. And in his history book, he found part of the answer. He learned how some great black men and women had helped to bring change.
In years to come, Martin was influenced by great other voices, like those of Henry David Thoreau and Mahatma Gandhi, who believed in using peaceful resistance only, never violence. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize for leading nonviolent demonstrations. Religious teaching also had a major impact on Martin's life. Just before graduating from college, he was ordained as a Baptist minister.
Although he was killed when he was 39 years old, Martin Luther King Jr. largely succeeded in attaining his goal, equal treatment of blacks in stores, on buses, in restaurants, and at voting polls.
Today, this great man's story and words are in the history books alongside the heroes he once read about as a boy. Listen to some of his words.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls and little white boys and girls will be able to go hand in hand and walk together as brothers and sisters.
Through his deeds and words, Martin Luther King Jr. will be remembered as one of the great voices ever to speak in the history of civil rights.
Thank you, Kawad. That was a very great job. Thank you. Now we have Memphis Schools. Sparlingville will follow. Thank you. Did you need it?
Yes, you are.
Sing about loving. Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about peace. All around the world. Sing about Martin. Sing about loving. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world.
Thank you, Memphis. We'll now hear from Sparlingsville Elementary. Kimball Elementary will follow.
Shelby? Yeah, that's good. Is this ready?
Miss Miller, we still want to say peace? So we know what to do.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He lived during the time when black people did not have equal rights. Black children could not go to the same schools as white children, and black families could not eat at the same restaurants as white families. Martin Luther King Jr. believed in peace, love, faith, freedom, justice, and taking action in order to fulfill equality for all people.
Peace. Martin Luther King Jr. believed that in order to bring about change for equality, he would have to use peace. Instead of fighting with his fists and weapons, Martin used his words, held marches, sit-ins, and boycotts to achieve his goals.
It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love, peace, and sacrifice for it.
Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but it means which we arrive at that goal.
The old law about an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. The time is always right to do the right thing.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an ordained Baptist minister and used the principles of love to change people's hearts.
At the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear.
Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend.
Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness.
Faith. Martin Luther King Jr.'s faith in God and humanity brought people together. His faith inspired people to change the way they thought about others.
Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase.
Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.
We must accept,
Martin Luther King believed in the founding principles of our country.
Freedom was never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed.
Justice. Martin Luther King Jr. was a true believer in justice. He believed that everybody should be treated fairly. Injustice is a threat to justice anyway.
Action. Martin Luther King wanted everyone to stand up for what they believed in.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? The quality, not the longevity of one's life, is what is important.
The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the times of challenge and controversy.
We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
Dream. Martin Luther King had a dream. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children.
Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, at the age of 39. Although Martin's life was cut short, he made a lasting impact in the world. Through his thoughtful words and peaceful actions, Martin changed many people's minds in the world we live in. Martin inspired many people who carry on his beliefs of peace, love, faith, freedom, justice, and taking action in order to make the world a better place for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Sparlingville. We will now hear from Kimball. Lakeport Elementary will follow.
In front of it, guys. Guys, everybody look up and step up so you don't get wet. Dre, move up. You're in front of it. Chelsea, in front. Greg. Greg. Jacob?
He's fine.
Okay. Don't play that yet. They have to do their other thing first.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
Booker T. Washington.
Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed.
President Barack Obama. I stand here knowing that my story is part of a larger American story that I will adapt to all those who came before me, and that no other country on earth is my story impossible.
Mahatma Gandhi, you must be the change you want to see in the world.
History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, may not be lived again.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Open your eyes up, people, and take a good look around. Catch the tears filling up all those cracks in the ground. Turn off your televisions, leave your picture perfect neighborhoods. A lot of folks out there ain't doing so good. Too many of us left out in the cold. No invitations given, no welcome at some road, but you can be the change you want to see. Be the hope to those whose lives are far from easy. Reach out and lend a hand, share everything you can. Be the change, be the change. Carry the world on your shoulders for a little while. Put on someone else's shoes and walk around. So many cups are running over, while so many are going dry. Grass ain't always green on the other side. There's still a lot of work to be done. A lot of wrongs to right, a lot of battles to be won. If you can be the change you want to see, be the hope to those whose lives are far from easy. Reach out and lend a hand, share everything you can, and be the change, be the change. Reach out and lend a hand, share everything you can, and be the change, be the change. Be the change, be the change, be the change.
Please give Kimball another hand. See, sometimes things don't come out exactly as we plan, but we have to hang in there and do the best we can. Now we'll hear from Lakeport Elementary.
December 1930, in Birmingham, Alabama. She grew up in Los Angeles studying music at the Los Angeles City College. In 1961, Dr. Martin Luther King described Odetta as the queen of all-American folk music. In 1963, Dr. King invited her to join him on his Freedom March on Washington at the Lincoln Memorial. She sang him a spiritual eulogy before she made his famous speech, and it was part of the song which President Barack Obama invited Odetta to sing at his inauguration 46 years later. Odetta, folk singer and civil rights activist, was born on December 31st, 1930. She died on December 2nd, 2008, age 77. Here are the words, part of the spiritual trilogy. Oh, freedom, come and go with me, I'm on my way.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
No more mourning, no more mourning, no more mourning over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more crying, no more crying, no more crying over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
There'll be singing, there'll be singing, there'll be singing over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Rest in peace, Odetta.
Thank you, Lakeport. Now we will hear from Mr. Ron Roline, the superintendent of the Port Huron Area School District.
Madam President Geraldine Brown, I tell you, what a great tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King that we celebrated here this morning. His life, his work has made huge differences in all our lives. And his work, he went in the direction that our differences is our strengths. And what he developed was all of us working together, there's nothing that we can't do. When I look at students like Brittany and Maya, I tell you, it's amazing to watch students develop over the 4 years when they're in high school and K-12. And when you look at great leaders like Mr. Kindle, truly, the dream lives on. Dr. Martin Luther King would be very proud of this community and our school district because we represent the essence of what this man stood for. Mr. Shirky and I had an opportunity to visit with some ministers, and there was a saying that I thought deserved repeating. Rosa Parks sat down so Dr. Martin Luther King could walk, and Dr. Martin Luther King walked so President Barack Obama could run, and President Barack Obama ran so all Americans could fly. We do live in a great community, and it's one of the finest, if not the best, in the state of Michigan, bar none. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roline. And in closing, I thank all of you for the brilliant performances we've seen today. And I leave you with this. My dream is that someday, and someday soon, there won't be a Black History Month. There will be American history celebrated each and every day. So with this, I want you all to remember to be good to each other, learn from each other, and help each other. I'd like to remind you to pick up your treat bags in the lobby before leaving. Thank you and have a safe trip home.